to you then, Omeezy. What was your journey up until now?
I started back, I think, when I was young, I was a FIFA player. I mainly played FIFA, mainly through high school. I played FIFA. I think
Yeah,
grade 10, I started playing a bit of Call of Duty here
yeah.
and there, but like I wasn't too serious about it. And then when I moved to varsity, I started playing a game called Paladins on my laptop.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
I
then
know that game.
that game went through like a really bad season to the point where I just couldn't play it. It was just so bad. And
Yeah.
so one of my friends was like, "Why don't you try out Fortnite?" And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then from there, that's just how the journey began. I just fell in love with the game and stuck with it ever since.
Okay, so FIFA for you. I think the thing with the previous episode that we had is literally everyone was coming from Call of Duty, and then
Yeah.
it basically found their way into Fortnite. Psycho, for you, anything different from coming from FIFA?
Mm, I started Wii actually at the age of 6.
We,
Yeah.
Jesus, I don't think that would help you much in the
See.
game you're playing now.
um, then I started on PS3. I got a PS3. Started playing Rugby 08, Rugby 07, and
Yeah.
then got a PS4. Moved to FIFA and Call of Duty. Started properly competitive in Black Ops 3, and then I think yeah, ended there by Black Ops 3. Played a bit of World War 2, but then I found Fortnite and I started enjoying Fortnite.
All right. Same question to you, James. Right?
Yo. When I was younger, I didn't really have like PS4 or anything, but there was this gaming cafe down the road that I'd always go to after school and stuff. And I'd play FIFA, I'd play Call of Duty, I'd play all of that stuff. And then I started saving up for a PC because my brother he got one, and I was just like I want one as well. So I started saving and saving, um, and then playing Minecraft and all of that stuff. And then yeah, I didn't really play any competitive games before Fortnite, to be honest. This was
Yeah.
my first like competitive experience. And yeah, my friend introduced it to me because he wanted me to play PUBG with him, but I couldn't afford
Mm-hmm.
it. So it was like, here's a free game. It just came out, and then I downloaded that, started playing with him in the early days, first week or two of the game coming out.
Yeah, no, but
Um,
like the
just
thing is,
casually going for that first win, you know. That
yeah,
that was the
is it fair to say that this is some or everyone's first esports that you actually like
mm,
competing for money, or did you compete for money in any other
no,
other games?
nothing. This is my first ever like competitive experience, like no other comp games.
Museum with FIFA?
And then yeah,
No, no, no. Unless you're counting like the wages you do with friends and the bets and stuff.
No.
No.
Well,
No, no.
you must be good at FIFA then, not?
I was pretty good, yeah.
You was. No, you can maybe might take on the BVD FIFA team.
Uh,
They they
I'd
quite
be
insane.
scared. I'd be scared.
Yeah, obviously,
But I'm just.
I love them to bits. They're awesome guys. Then we're gonna move along. And another question that was asked in the first episode was, how did you guys originate from your gamer tags? How did that start? Zozu, kick it off.
Well, my gamer tag for probably like 6 years of my life was Trixie, and everyone always thought I was a girl. And I kind of like when I decided to start streaming, I felt like I needed something a bit more like manly, and then I needed something short. And yeah, I was like, oh, okay, what name can I have? Zozu. And then it just came out of nowhere, and I was just stuck with it. to
Isn't
be
there
honest.
some movie character with the name Zozu?
Yeah, from the Last Airbender. I think
Yeah,
that it might
yeah.
have like stemmed maybe from that, but it wasn't like specifically that. Yeah, I
Well,
just needed
maybe you
something a
want to
little
just
more-
shave your hair off and then like draw that
One
little
day.
arrow, you know?
Yeah. Get Zozu tattooed on the back of my head one day.
Why not? Omeezy, and yours?
my surname is Oma,
Oma.
and so in high school, that's what a lot of people called me. And then one of my friends just randomly just started calling me Omeezy, 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 and it like kind of stuck. And so that became my nickname in high school, and I just decided to make it my gamer tag.
You're
See,
lucky
that's
they don't
cool,
call you
man.
Omo.
Yeah. Oh, no, no, no. I've been through all of them, trust me. My
All
Rust
right.
company is doing pretty good.
Psycho, I take it yours is just because you cracked, or what do you mean? Like, why Psycho?
I don't know. I heard the song Post Malone, Psycho, but like spelled. Yo, you're gonna judge me on my English, yeah. PSYCHO,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
I was like, no, I want something unique. So then I just chose SYCO. So it just came from a song.
All right, yeah.
Warm.
yeah.
Oh, great. Riots and you?
With me, it was like I was going through a bunch of names. Nothing really stuck because I didn't really have the need to have like a set name. And then like as soon as I started getting into competitive Fortnite, um, there were actually like lots of riots and protests and stuff happening in my area. So I was like, okay, I'll take riots, and then
Yeah.
it just stuck, I guess.
Yeah.
I know it's quite funny, but yeah.
All right. No, it's good to know sometimes how people come, because I know some people say, okay, I don't have no clue. I'm gonna go on the internet and I'm just gonna search any flippin' cool thing that pops up and take that.
Random name generator.
Yeah. But it's safe to say that I haven't seen a Zozu, I haven't seen a Omeezy, I've seen Sycos. I think I've seen a Riots in Call of Duty, but like it's not fairly common to see those names. And then before we go, Syco, if you can just lower yourself with your chair there, because it looks like you want to fly away on your camera, or just yeah, you can do that, or you can just move the camera and right, you can just tilt your camera down so I can see more, because we're literally seeing a floating head. Yeah, but that work. No, it's back up. It's literally just went back up. Yeah, that if you can keep it there, that's fine. Okay, and moving along, the next one is, and I know a lot of people's gonna say, like, I have their own opinion on this, but yesterday we had the Rage tournaments held at Maverick Gaming. And if you weren't there, I know it went well for the first couple of games, or everything was, and you started quite late. I'm gonna ask you all what went down, and obviously Syco and Zozu was there, out of the people that's in this Discord or in this Fortcast. And I just want to ask you, how did things go? How did things start off with the day? Did things look good? Talk me through it, and we'll talk about what can be fixed, what can be better next time. But just talk me through the day, Zozu and Syco.
Syco, you go first, dude.
I was there really early. I was there 7:30. Zadok, helped them like just do the odds and ends. I feel like when you got there, between 8 to 10 was a long checking period, because like if we could have started the day earlier, we could have finished earlier.
Done more games.
Yeah, the setups were fine. Like each person had their own space. But when we got there, I don't know, it took like 1.5 hours to 2 hours to start our first game, which I felt like was really long. And by then, like also between the games, we had about 2 hours periods of waiting between games, and like I just feel like we need to find a system where, I don't know, it's not our, like we can't deal with it, but like if Epic can just get it, like where everyone can get into the queue, because like sometimes you'll go into a game and we have 7 people short. When we try again, we had 5 people short. So like that delay kept on happening, and that wasted a lot of time.
I mean, to be honest, the one thing that definitely sticks out the most, even above all the issues that I have, like specifically with things, is that the capacity of being able to run a tournament with 100 players. Like, even considering that it's brand new and the issues with the actual matchmaking itself, it's still insane to go and see 100 Fortnite players all dropping in the same lobby. And it still works. You know what I mean? It still, at the end of the day, will work. It's just, I think the little errors need to get notched out. And as I think a lot of players, because I noticed this, every time you go to a LAN, you're going to see a lot of faces that you're used to seeing, and then a lot of brand new people that you've never seen before, a lot of young guys that you've never seen before. Yeah. And I think as time goes on and they get more like used to how, you know, the tournaments are run, they'll get used to the matchmaking codes and doing all of that kind of admin.
No, so the thing is the delay. I heard, I don't know if it was true, but you guys started like what first? What time did the first game take place?
Like 12.
Yeah. Jeez. Okay, but I mean, there was a delay just from my side specifically, because one of the computers that I was using there was having issues with monitors. So like we had to try different monitors and it wasn't working, and that was like a half an hour, 40-minute delay on its own. So
and like obviously then it came to that stage where Epic stopped with the custom matchmaking. And then my big question was, when I was sitting at home watching, I think I was watching Cloud's stream, was the question for me was, did the tournament organizers ask you guys, listen here, okay, custom matchmaking is done. Would you guys prefer A or B, or did they say, okay, it's going to be A, this is it, or did they give you the option for that?
Well, initially they actually wanted us to do arena solos for the game, that extra game.
Yeah.
And then everybody was like complaining that some people are in champion, some people are in contender and whatever. And then they just said, okay, everyone just go into a normal solo pub. Because there
Yeah.
was basically no other option because all the custom, like any custom matchmaking was disabled. So they didn't really have like much of a choice. But I think they should have also just ended the tournament at that point rather than
Well,
putting on an extra.
They also promised, they said that we were going to do 8 games of customs, but since we started at 12, we lost 2 hours.
Yeah.
So those 2 hours could have got at the 8 customs. And I feel like with the kill race, it's really RNG. Because like there could be people who are number 20th and they could get like a 12 kill win and that'll push them all the way to the top. So some
Yeah.
people's placements from winning from top 1 to top 3 could have changed from that.
My thing is just, don't you think that people will get pissed off, saying, okay, there was 8 games, now we're just going to make it 5, and then people's going to say, okay, but they left their last 2 games maybe to W key and da 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 da, like all the excuses that they can come up with, obviously, and people's going to, like, if it's on black and white and you say 8 and now we're only playing 5, like, people's not going to be happy with it.
Especially because you're paying money towards it, and there's also a big prize pool that was involved.
But are you guys happy with the way it planned out at the end with playing solos?
No.
No,
I just felt like it was unnecessary. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I felt like the people that had played consistently throughout the day in all the customs deserved to be in the places that they were already. So
Yeah.
it was kind of unnecessary to even make like a random solo game at the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
all the
got some
players
people
that
on our
were
game.
really sticking out were going to do well regardless because of how they performed for the rest of the day. So it was just kind of like a little unnecessary. But
Yeah. Okay.
Mm.
But outside of that, like obviously they can fix getting everything in order,
yeah.
like getting things. Is there anything out of the like that you can think of that if the tournament organizers are looking at this and saying, okay, well let's take these points and fix this. What could they be? What could they fix for the next one? That's up to you two. You were there, so like obviously being on time or not being on time, but making sure it is like technology, and we know sometimes as I press the button
Yeah.
we go live and WhatsApp doesn't want to open, like stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like,
there's small things.
yeah.
It just definitely. I just don't think the wait times are the biggest problem because I think when guys are waiting 40 minutes between a game, your brain just slows down. You're not like you can't keep yourself in that moment, heated up off for 40 minutes. While
Yeah,
you're waiting to
yeah.
get into the next game. That for me is just my biggest issue between
Yeah.
like the times. That's all. Like
Uh,
besides that, if it takes the whole day, even the kill race tournaments are taking the whole day. So.
Yeah, and like
The
and the
amount of games-
communication from the tournament organizers to you guys was that
I mean, I haven't had any problems. They're always very transparent about what's going on and stuff. Just speed, that's all.
and the streams and interviews all good there. I know Syco
Yeah.
did a beautiful dance for us. I don't know how beautiful it was, but there was a dance.
No, but it was nice to see that analytics side coming out of it because
Yeah.
most of the Fortnite tournaments we haven't had
Mm.
like people analyzing the games and stuff like that. So it's nice to see it being introduced. ATK kind of started it, and now it's nice to see the other two
Yeah,
guys kind of.
Another thing that maybe follows that is that obviously I come now from the Call of Duty side of seeing things, and after every tournament we have 20-30 people going out for supper at the end with each other, just socializing and getting to know each other a bit better, and just friends. Do you like? Obviously, I only saw, I think Bean a video called me, and it was I only saw 4 people there. I don't know. Do you guys do something like that, or is it everyone just go their own way afterwards, say cheers, goodbye, and obviously because it's a younger scene with Call of Duty, it's a bit older, but do you guys see that maybe happening in the future?
Definitely. Well, I mean, see, it's hard for me. I get super tired. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
After I land, I've exerted all my energy and my soul, and I need to rest up.
I'm just saying, like, if something, I would urge people to, like, after the tournament, get together, go. Obviously, me being a burki, I'll say, come to my house, let's have a braai and a dop. But all the young people, you're not going to get dops. You'll just watch them, like me braai. But like stuff like that, it needs to happen. Obviously, it grows the scene externally.
It brings the community together.
And you think a guy's toxic until you meet him in person and he's actually a very nice guy. Like vice versa, that can happen either side around too, but hopefully not. We're gonna move along then to the other question that I think is a big deal for me, and I think for Zozu as well, him being the captain of Bravado, and that is, what is Fortnite going to do? Solos, duos, trios, squads. And here's the question: is where do you guys see the future of Fortnite going? Do you think, yeah, we had the Fortnite World Cup being a duo thing, a solo and a duo. Now they're trying to implement trios. We heard something about squads. Where do you think this is going, and why do you think it's going to go that route? And Omeezy, you're going to kick that one off for me.
Mm, I think right now Epic are experimenting with what they're trying to do in terms of what game mode they're trying to host. I think, or see what's more popular in terms of what viewers enjoy watching and what the players enjoy playing.
Yeah,
And initially, like squads was what most competitive players wanted to play and what we're practicing.
yeah,
Like the early days, like it was
Mm.
squad scrims was everything, but the servers just couldn't handle it. And so as a result, Epic were only hosting solos and duos because they tried to host like, well, they tried to host like big events or squads, or they
yeah,
experimented with it and it just wasn't working out. And so they chose solos and duos. So I think now that they've like developed a bit more, they're bringing in trios again and squads again, and people seem to the trios more and the squads more. People enjoy playing trios more than I think solos than duos, in my opinion.
yeah. Like,
But and like team play is always like important, and also like just being able to follow like groups of people. It's so hard like trying to keep the 99 solos that are taking
yeah,
place as opposed to
Mm.
the
yeah,
20,
exactly.
30 trios and squads
Yeah.
that are in
And then
the game.
James, from your perspective with ADK, you have Zach, Hutch, and yourself. And let's say, for instance, squads is a thing.
Yeah.
Um, like obviously they're gonna look at someone else and say now trio and squads isn't gonna be a thing, and it's just gonna be duo. You're gonna have that one guy's looking for a different partner. Like where does that leave you in the team? Say now you that outside guy that isn't gonna be teaming with a potential ATK partner. Is it then you maybe being scared? Listen, your ATK might let me go because it's just a duo thing, or they might get another play in for me.
Yeah, I mean, I think being in one of the top orgs, there are those people that want to play with you to get their name out there. So I don't think it would be like too hard to find another player. And if obviously if we teaming up and we playing well together, who knows, ATK might recruit them.
Yeah,
Um, but at the moment, it's me and Hachi as a duo, and then Zach, um, who's still looking for a partner. But
yeah. I think
yeah, I
Zach's
think.
still crying. I can hear him.
Mm.
I can hear him. He is still crying. I think he misses his little crackhead. I know, but he's safe and sound at and found a home at Bravado now. But hopefully, hey Zach, I'm free. Hey, listen here. I might not edit and build, but believe me, I can L2. That's all I can do. That's all I can do. But as those are, and for yourself, you have 4 players, and if trio is a thing, there's also that one guy that's left out. Um, how do you think, and what do you think is the best way for Fortnite to go then?
Well, I think at the moment it's all kind of it's so here and there. I don't even think Fortnite themselves know exactly like what their competitive scene is going to look exactly like right now
Yeah,
because but I mean, I think that's also kind of the beauty of it is that there is so many different varieties of the competitor side. So having 4 players is perfect because then we can guarantee that we can compete in whether it's solos, duos, trios, or squads. And
yeah,
obviously, if trios do become more of the selected thing for Fortnite, then we'll have to look at maybe getting more players, maybe not. It just depends how Fortnite go with it, because there's no point just signing 6 players to make sure you can have 2 trios and
yeah,
then they disable it and decide they don't want to go forward with it anymore. So
yeah.
I think it just depends,
Yeah, the
how
biggest
they
thing is them to actually announce something, saying this is it. We're
exactly.
gonna stick to this.
Yeah,
And
once
a
they
lot
make
of
it
yeah,
concrete.
like a lot of people come to me and say, listen, yeah, this is me. Look at me. I'm really good. Here's my placings. But I'm just holding on to it, saying, "Listen here, we don't know what's for
We
sure.
don't know
We
yet.
don't
Yeah,
know what's
exactly.
happening." They can tell us, "Listen here, scrap everything. It's just going to be solo." Then obviously it's going to be easier, just 1-1-1-1. But yeah, and Syco, you and FA, like, what do you prefer? Do you prefer playing with teammates? Do you prefer maybe going on your solo in Fortnite? What do you think is the best opportunity for you maybe to get into a team?
I would say if you're a free agent, solo and yo, especially solo because people can see at first, because when an org tries to pick you up, they try to look at your solo placements, how you play by yourself. Because with solos, it's by your own experience, your own thoughts, and your own how you do everything is judged
Mm-hmm.
on yourself. And
Yeah,
then obviously, if they pick you up as a solo, they can trust you to get someone who's a duo, and you try just work with them. But another thing I think also is maybe coming to competitive is creative. Like they even did the creative World Cup, and I'm maybe thinking that they might be doing like creative, like 1v1s or creative
yeah.
building stuff.
Wages and stuff.
Yeah.
Wages, yeah. Like I know from the Call of Duty side, there's always wages going. Like we call it money
Mm.
tens or money eights, and then they just everyone puts in what $100,
Yeah,
and
they've
then
become quite popular now these days. Over the past month, there's been a few streamers starting with wages, and
yeah,
MSF Clicks is one of them. He's been streaming, and then the people donate to play him, and then they make quite a bit of money out of it actually.
yeah. So like, there's a lot of opportunities if you look at it for content, wages, creative, competitive, um, or me just shite. But like there's a lot of content that can be put out there. So yeah, so basically Fortnite just needs to make up the mind. Listen, yeah, this is it, or tell us what, or so we can grow. I just think if they're holding it back, it's going to be a bit difficult for us to grow as a community and stick as a team.
Definitely.
Because like say now we had a trio, and I'm going to take for example we have from Ian we have Rise, Trogons, and Notking. Let's say those three play together. They worked out strats. They worked out everything. I'm gonna be the guy that's gonna WK. I'll sit back and all that nitty gritty that needs to go in. And then all of a sudden they say, okay, scrap trio. Then all that time is gonna be wasted on you maybe working with your duo. But that's something that we can look at. And then the following topic to follow is how Fortnite actually implements adding new things. I know in the previously we spoke about it, saying Fortnite put out a tweet, "What gun do you want back?" Like the drum gun, and I think
Mm.
it was something else. But adding the adding of new shotguns and ARs and just general items, like how do you think is the best way to implement something like that? We have Fortnite implementing what that storm surge thing
Stormflip.
Oh, the
yeah, the
storm
storm
flip,
flip,
yeah.
and it was basically just before one of the trio weekends. Like, what's your personal opinion? How should they implement it, and how should my what I said the previous one is put it into normal solos, see how it is, and then put it into arena, see how it is. How do you guys think it should go about, Omeezy?
I agree with you 100%. Like, the casual community really enjoy like new additions to the game and everything, and so like they're hyped when stuff like that comes out.
Yeah,
But I don't think Epic take into consideration how these things affect the comp community. And so like testing it out in solo, seeing how the item works, and then even putting it into arena, like I don't mind that. But as long as it's not put into like their first cash tournament without it being
yeah,
tested or anything, I find that like really disturbing and annoying.
I
So
know.
it's but they've taken actions to like to stop it. Like they disabled the storm flip. They
Mm,
I think they disabled something else. I can't remember, but like just to
yeah.
test it out. But
And
I think that's
also, if you have a certain strat, or it's like going into a meta. You have a certain meta, and now all of a sudden, this one item that comes in throws your meta totally like on its head, and then you need to readjust in a short while before a tournament. So it is a lot of things to look at. Zozo, from you, how do you think they should be implementing new items, and how do you think it can affect other players' meta? I would put it.
Yeah, I agree 100% with what Amizi said. I think it should be kept like quite separate because I think that the part that's kind of the thing that the casual community love about Fortnite is that it's always changing. There's always new things coming in, and I think even the competitive side, like there is certain aspects of it that people learn to love. I mean, look at Amizi with the balls. You know, when they were
Yeah.
first released,
Yeah.
he would send me essays about how terrible they are. Now he's a
Yeah,
baller
yeah.
player himself. So, but you know what I mean? It's certain things that can be integrated into competitive, but I think they have to keep it separate. You can't like be changing people's weeks of work and screwing up all that, you know, just to implement an item the night before a tournament. So, you know, I think it should be kept separate until they've, you know, competitive players have had the time to try it out and say like, hey, this could actually work for competitive, and then
Yeah, and
slowly integrate it. You know.
yeah, and right, and um, the time period of adding things, I feel like it's too quick. The time they
Yeah.
add things, don't you think they should maybe last a little longer and then maybe try something new? Because it feels like something's happening 24/7. They adding a lot of things in, and it can throw people
Yeah.
like around. So, what's your idea
The
there?
content updates like every week. I think they want to like keep the game
Fresh.
like new because like we've seen and it's facts that they don't really like they focus more on the casual community than the comp community.
Yeah.
So because that's where they get them more that's where they get more money. Obviously, so they want to keep everything fresh for the casual players, and then they do take the com community into consideration, but I do think maybe every 2 weeks, especially not like if they want to make like a massive change, like with that storm flip change, they also removed rifts, which are a massive item in like in comp end zones
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff, and that changed the meta a lot. And yeah, I mean, I think they should definitely leave a bit more time and maybe separate comp and casual like
Mm.
and put my emphasis on like balance it out a little bit.
Psycho, same for you. Do you think it's like? Do you agree with him? Firstly, and the timing of items. Do you think it's all right, or there's something that they could be looking at again?
In my opinion, like when we first got like the solo tournaments, they used to do a solo test event like way back, like I
Yeah,
think beginning of this year, and they used to like implement things. So the one time there'll be like 900 match, and then like, whoa, this time there's too
Mm.
much people that match. And the next one they said, oh, yeah, you only cap it at 500. So I
yeah,
feel like they should have a separate like playlist where you test out all the stuff and does it actually effectively work before just putting everywhere.
yeah,
Yeah, that's another thing I'd like to add. Like, I think a test server because the game's so big. Like a test server
Mm.
could like could benefit a lot. Where we all just go like PUBG has it basically.
mm,
Where before adding a new item, they put it in a test server for a month or so, see how it runs, see how the people like it, and then if it's
yeah,
good, they put it into the actual game. If it's not, then they take it out.
yeah. And I actually want to go off topic here, or I put another topic in that I didn't put on WhatsApp for you guys. Is something that I checked on Discord. Is a lot of team or a lot of people creating Discord servers that now have custom keys and want to host customs. Rather than getting into one place and organizing with everyone saying, I am this guy, I have a custom key, I can help out. Do you think it is, or would you prefer it rather being all in one Discord? I know I can check this one Discord, or do you prefer one there, one there? If I can't get into that one, maybe I can get into this one. It's a plus, maybe. But what do you think? All in one? Should it be handled by one guy or one team? What do you guys think about that?
I'll
Yeah,
go. I'll just say like since I have custom keys, like I feel like when people start making their own Discord, it's the reason there's probably like beef between someone that they don't like. So there could be like hatred towards one another. But in my opinion, we should stick to one Discord because
mm,
why do you want to separate in the community? Because even though we don't have servers, why do you want to separate if we're ready that's to grow?
yeah,
Facts.
I agree
I agree
Feel
100%.
with
like
that as
community
well.
is too small to like
Hmm.
sounds like
Agree.
Segregate.
separating and creating
Yeah.
different groups. So having it all in one place would definitely be more beneficial to everybody.
And I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
it also comes down to like the small things. Like if you're in public, you know, some like if you go to a LAN and some kids asking you like, "Hey, how do I get into the community? How do I get into
Yeah.
this?" You know, instead of having to go, "Oh, there's this Discord, this one, this one, this one," you can just go, "Hey, there's SA Open League." You know what I mean? And then
Mega
you
game.
can
Yeah.
you see what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So it just makes it a lot easier to keep us all in one place than
Yeah, I
stay
think the
together.
merge between rage tourneys
Yeah,
and
that's
open
the
league
big
is
reason I
definitely going
brought
to
this
benefit
up.
us.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I think that.
Yeah,
I think
because
that would be sick.
now, the one is the comp and then the other one's the casual. But
Yeah.
I
It's
mean,
better to all have it in
yeah,
one
I
place.
think it'll benefit us.
Indeed, agree so much. And then something that maybe Psycho can also speak on. I have a lot of Call of Duty guys that I've spoken to the last 2 weeks leading up to this forecast that might make the transition from Call of Duty to Fortnite. Um, and obviously they're on console because Call of Duty competitively is played on console. And now they want to move to Fortnite, but firstly they need to get into grinding on console, getting their name out there, and then eventually getting a PC. Um, and I had some people looking for partners to play in duos or trios or whatever. And then they say, "Listen here, I'm on console. They don't want to look at me." And as I say that, yeah, I don't know if you guys see the chat, but
Blowing up a little bit.
yeah,
Just a
Jeez,
little.
Pony just gifted like 10
Man,
subs.
like,
yeah, Pony
only.
gifting 10 subs, so literally just putting a halt in my speech there. And I don't know what Omeezy has in the middle of his face there. Oh, I think someone's trying to find me. That will go away just now. But the question is, a lot of people like now they're on console, and PC players don't want to be playing with console players. Is that the case, or is that a complete lie that PC players don't want to play with console players?
Mm, I'm gonna use Clouds and Neymar as an example. Clouds and Neymar were duo partners. Neymar was on a console and Clouds was on a PC. And like you didn't really see much of them. And then
Yeah.
until Neymar got his PC, they started like taking over the scene. But like I feel like with a console, if you have the skill, but obviously you're disadvantaged with a few things like frames, you can't do as much as you can do to PC. But if you like really got the skill, you can rely on the PC players to do the things that you can't do.
So,
So yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Omeezy, would you say no to a console player?
No. I'd say yes to a console player.
So
They're definitely with potential.
they bring something else to the game. Like obviously, like when I'm saying okay, a PC player wants to play with a control player.
That's
Yeah,
the
the
best
control
combo.
that's probably the
Yeah, it's
best
the
combo.
best combo.
The guy can
Yeah.
L2 and the other guys can edit like Zozu does. But like like so there is a thing is it's basically bull crap that people say they don't want to play with me because I'm on console. Um, yes, 60 frames might be a problem, but they can still hang with the best. And I think most of the people maybe came through console to PC. I don't think they started off at PC. I don't know for you guys. Did you guys start off with PCs?
Yeah.
Yes.
Started
Okay.
Never
off with
touched a
keyboard and
console in my
mouse.
life.
Okay, so
I'm terrified of a console.
yeah, like yeah, I know most people will say console plebs, but like yeah, it is the thing, and I think obviously Psycho saw listen, yeah, okay, I've got console, I need to as quick as possible try and get myself a PC to compete with the best.
But it's like you've
Um,
been able to.
pardon?
Sorry, I was saying you've been able to compete with the best.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
obviously I have my disadvantages, but I've adapted to that and worked around it. Like you can't always use the excuse, oh yeah, Zozu killed me because I'm on 60 FPS. Like I've got
Yeah.
used to that. But another thing why I also feel like people say they don't get by the PC players is like if you take the top pros that are good on PC, like in South Africa or all over the world, they need that experience. Some people on the console that just want to be like, oh yeah, I wish I could partner up with Rise. Oh, I wish I could partner up with Kareem because he's so good. But they're actually really the real reason why they don't want to be them or
Mm.
don't want to be with them is because they don't have the lack of experience.
Yeah, indeed.
I
So,
agree.
and I think Pony as well went. I can see in the chat to everyone that is there. I think he came from console because he also played Call of Duty for a long while. Hutch said he won't be playing with a PS4 player. He ain't scared to say it. Well, let's say that PS4 player is your duo Riots. Are you gonna tell him, bro, here's the door, take it. I'm done with you, or like obviously, I don't know. PS4 obviously going to struggle you with your FPS, but I think you still can hang, and I think Psycho is a prime example of that. So yeah, I think it can definitely go that way. And then another topic is oh, is if you do create your trio, what do you look in? Okay, obviously this is a main question for Zozu. Is you are the captain, and you are now creating this trio team, or for argument's sake, let's say it's squads. And you creating the squad team. What do you look for? Do you look for a guy? Okay, let's say I want one W keyer. I want one guy that can maybe build the living shit out of the game. I have one sniper sitting back. I'll need a guy that's really good at comms. What do you think is the perfect like shape or mix and match of a squad team slash trio team maybe?
I think it comes down exactly like all other titles. You know, you need versatility in the team so everybody can kind of complement each other. So I don't even think that it's a good idea to put like a W key player with a straight up passive
Yeah.
player because
Yeah.
they're still playing at completely different speeds. So they're not going to be able to catch on to what each other's doing. But if you can find like a W key player and then a really good support player, like
Yeah,
I call
yeah.
them like the bloodhound, like
Yeah.
you know, you're always chasing the W key player and like if for example, if Kareem is W keying on somebody, and you watched it, if like a good person to watch it would be Zach and Kareem, the way that they used to play. Like if
Yeah.
Kareem got a hit, Zach would be on top of that guy until he was dead. You know what I mean? That, and then you would want like a my perfect would be two PC players who are intensely aggressive, and then having a controller player kind of sit on the outside and just use that trigger and just
Yeah, obviously.
plummet everything. You know what I mean? But depends for different scenarios. So I think the best combination, in my opinion, would be to have two relatively aggressive players that can kind of complement each other, and then having a backup support player kind of
Mm-mm.
watching the grounds,
Yeah,
keeping an eye out.
right. If I take your perspective now with Hutch, if you and Hutch, obviously you guys are a duo now, and if you're going to trio, what are you going to be looking for as a trio? What's the trait you're looking for as that third player coming in?
Um, Personally, I haven't really been looking into trios that much. Um, but I think Hachi and I are both very like conservative players. Um, so we'd probably be looking for someone um like with good comms, obviously, who can speak his mind. Um, he's not scared to speak up and stuff. And then I don't think, yeah, like Zozu said, I don't think having a W key player in the middle of it all,
Mm.
while your other teammates are like passive and like try base their kills on decisions. I don't think that would benefit us, but I think we'd probably look for someone who's like kind of like a support player who can back us up when we need it. But yeah, I haven't really been thinking about it that much, but yeah.
Thank you.
All right. So they like obviously everything goes into, and if you can get that complete play, obviously it's going to help you out a damn lot. Okay, and then the last question that actually helped out was Omeezy for that one was the World Cup predictions. Obviously, the World Cup is next weekend, if I'm not mistaken, or the
Yeah.
weekend, or,
Yeah.
next weekend. What is your
27th,
yeah?
I think.
Everyone, we can go through this and get everyone's predictions. Who do you think will win, and who do you want to win? Obviously, it's two different questions. As always, I'll start with you, Omeezy, Syco, and then I'll end off with Riot.
I think probably my favorite player at the moment is E11 Stompy. I just believe him and Chenkin are. I just think rotate like in every aspect of their gameplay, they are flawless in everything that they can do. They can W key, they can play passive, they can play. They can. They're the best. What's the word that I'm looking for? They can adapt
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
game like nothing that I've ever seen before. So definitely Stompy for sure. I
Right,
think
Omeezy.
Riots might feel the
Mm,
same.
in solos, I think Ghost Bizzle will win just based on his experience. Like he's been he lands and he's consistent. Like in every tournament that he participates in, you'll see him in like the top three.
The Kareem of the overseas scene.
Yeah,
Pretty
yeah.
much, dude.
Yeah.
But back
He
into
is.
in solos, who I
Yeah, he
want to
wins
win,
everything.
I'd like to see Liquid Riverson. He's a fairly
Mm.
unknown player, but
Good player.
he's a really, really good player. I've learned a lot watching him. I know Odu will agree with me. Like we're both like really big fans of this guy, and so I hope he wins. Then in duos, who I think will win are Benji and Savage,
Yeah.
and Fishy and Mr. Savage. They're like a flawless duo. Like watching them play, you just like imagine if I could come.
Yeah.
And then who I'd like to win are Mitra and Mongrel. I'm just a big Mitra fan. Just
Wait.
seeing them pop off would be pretty cool.
Yeah. Syco.
That's me.
I only watch a few certain people. I like
Swear.
as
I was just joking.
okay, yeah, but Tony did ask me to teach him some sway stuff, so I actually did.
No.
As a controller player, I watch a lot of controller people, but like now and then I'll watch the PC players. But for who I'd want to win for solos, I would go with Clicks because he's like literally come first 5 times.
Facts. Clicks is a beast.
And like if Clicks really has to play himself, like where he focus and he knows what to do, I feel like he's unstoppable. And then for duos, I'm probably gonna go with Ghost Aiden and Ghost Sean because Ghost Aiden is the first like controller player to qualify, and that actually went well. And then who I'd want to win for solos, I'd probably go with. I actually want Tifu to actually win. No cap, because I feel like folks did let him down. So
Yeah.
I really wish Tifu could actually show like people that he hasn't lost it. And then for duos, tough one. I'll probably go with the EU, Mitra and Mongrel as well.
All right. Right.
Yeah, for solos, I have to agree with Psycho. Clicks is unstoppable. He's insane. But I wouldn't really, I don't really want him to win because I really want an underdog to win. Someone who kind of made, or got exposure from qualifying.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have heard of Zypher and Dreta, but that kid, he's nuts.
Yeah.
I'd love him to win. Just because like he's been grinding and grinding and grinding, and I think he deserves it. And then for Diaz, uh, Stompy and Shinken, 100% all the
Yeah.
way. They are so good. Like
Crazy.
they,
Never seen people
like,
WQ like
honestly,
that. Ridiculous.
like I think
they don't stop
Yeah.
basically
Yeah.
until the game is over. They don't stop walking forward.
you see them like they go into one of the qualifiers and 20 minutes later after the first game, 45 points first game. How many kills did you get?
Crazy.
35 kills. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be that easy in
At the World Cup.
at the actual World Cup because everyone's going to be like the top players. But yeah, I'm going Stompy Shinken all the way.
All right. Awesome stuff. And that will be it for our topics. And we're going to get to the community questions now. And the first one that pops up is from Kizmia. He asks, do you have to be in an org to make a name for yourself? And if so, Pony or Zozu, please sign him. So,
Gotcha. Well, what about you, Dennis?
I'm full.
don't you?
I'm full, dude.
Oh.
I'm full. Like Rice
Yo, Kizmia, you heard it.
Rice takes enough of my time. Okay, like dude. That guy's like, dude. Like,
Me and I
obviously,
can talk about it.
do you
Yeah.
guys, do you guys think that you need to be in an org to
No.
actually have a name?
No, 100%.
No.
I think everyone in this Discord
Yeah.
made a name for themselves in the community without
Yeah,
an organization.
100%.
Everyone sitting here has done that. So
Like,
and I think
obviously,
there's
you
a
need
lot
to
of
start
names.
somewhere.
You have to
No,
start
that's
somewhere,
true.
but I don't think an organization is the place to necessarily start it. Like it starts with yourself. It starts with your personality and the amount of time you put into getting into the community. And
You can't just say I want to be picked up by BVD, but how much work do you put into? Like I
it's
feel
about
like
more than just being good at the game, and it's about more than just being a good personality. It's kind of everything mixed into one, and then how you project that to the community.
I think a good example of someone who made a name for themselves is not in an org is Keaton.
Yeah.
Like, remember back in the day when I think SA Open League was started and stuff. I remember him trying to get the pearl at the time, and I remember people declining him, and
Yeah, I remember that too.
what he did for himself is he just kept performing in tournaments. So he kept doing well, and now he's probably considered one of the best in SA, like a top 10 player.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Top
And performing at that.
Yeah,
That's how you can make a name for yourself.
I'm just reading that Kareem says into chat, being well known helps you get into an org. And obviously
I was
that is of your hard work to get known. the
Exactly.
content that you push out. Obviously, if you get in games and you get killed, people will remember you. You're going to lands, people see you. You placing, people see you even more. And obviously, that is all up to you as a person. If you sometimes you'll get people that are really shy, don't want to be on camera, don't want to do anything, don't want to go to a LAN. But sometimes even those people can get a reputation for themselves
100%.
and
In
put
COD,
themselves out
there's
there.
lots of people like that.
Yeah, there
In
is a
There's a
lot
my
of
lot of COD
people.
opinion,
players who they're not huge on the whole social side of
Yeah,
esports, but in game and at lands, they are some of the most talented players in SA. So
in my opinion, I would say like if you also have a big social media fact, like even if you take like 30-second clips of end game or 30-second clips of something, just to
yeah,
like show people what you got, they can start following you.
Mm.
yeah. So obviously, it's all up to you. Build your self-image or get your social media. If you missed it, episode number 1, we spoke about everything to do with your content and Twitch and Twitter and social media, all that stuff. Maybe check that one out. And then the following one is from Travis. Yes, Travis, that bot guy. He does say, do you think it's worth the time to build up a prodigy Fortnite player to become one of the top? And before you guys answer, I had this chat with him. So, because obviously we know Travis is looking for that duo, but he's maybe a bit too picky to get that duo. And so I'm saying, yeah, I'm just saying that with all respect. Is
it's true.
sometimes
Yeah, yeah, no.
you get too picky, and I told him maybe get that one guy. You see something in him. And one guy I'm actually gonna actually highlight is obviously Not King. And Not King is really young, and obviously I want to be that guy. We had the same guy of if you go to Call of Duty for Energy Esports, where Frosty, we picked him up when he was 14, and he's 18 now, and he's one of the most winningest Call of Duty players in South Africa. I think if you take the last 2 years, he's won every single, or not this year, but
Major
let's go,
LAN.
yeah, every single major LAN, and I think there was 8 of them maybe leading up to now, and he's won every single one of them. Um, so the thing is, if you do see potential, maybe build that with someone, and like obviously he's gonna be loyal to you if you guys reach that peak. So my question is to you: do you guys think it is then um, worth it to maybe build someone, or then if not, find someone that is?
I definitely think it is worth it because right now in the scene and in Fortnite in general, there's not much happening, and it's particularly locally, there's not too much going on, and so you can definitely take the time to find somebody who you think is good and start working with them, start preparing, because I definitely think things are going to pick up, and so if you're not ready by then, I feel sorry for you. But right now, I think is the best time to prepare and start looking for players who you gel well with,
Mm.
you think could be good in the future, and then start.
Yeah,
And I think if you believe in the guy and you see something special, then regardless, it'll be worth it.
yeah. Like
If you feel something
yeah,
inside.
there's a lot of people that say, dude, that guy really, you really picked him. But if you guys gel, like if you're gelling with each other and everything is going well, and it doesn't matter, you placed 25th and you're picking up a guy that they placed 100th. It doesn't matter if you guys work together well. You can place first as a
You
duo,
can ball.
and obviously, solely you improving not just him, but sometimes that guy that you're teaching will maybe teach you something about yourself.
Oh, for sure.
So there's a lot of things that go into that, and I just think maybe not be as picky. And I think he felt a bit of it on Twitter. Travis say some of the Call of Duty guys saying, "Damn, people are really wanting CVs these days to pick up players." But it is that. And Syco, my question is to you then. Um, if you are looking for that one, would you? My question is, would you then say, "Here's this one guy, not really known. I'm gonna work with him," or "I'm just gonna take Omeezy and stuff that I know is good. We'll just work together."
Um, like there's a I don't know if Zozu knows, there's a guy to my right at the LAN. And like now and then I'll peek on his screen and I'll see like, okay, yeah, 2 to 3 kills. And then he said to me, he's like, bro, I'm a huge fan of you. I watch you. And I was like, that's nice, bro. I appreciate it. Going to improve my gameplay. So I feel like we should try and support the people that want to try get to the top. And like I literally gave him like as what I could say. Like he was like, I get kills, but I can't make placements. I was like, just try get into the right positions. But another thing with that Yo thing, I see a lot of people, they say that, yeah, we're going to beat Yos, they announce it on Twitter, X and Y odd Yos. But then after one bad tournament, they just break up. Which I feel like you should rather like sit down and talk what's going wrong.
Take
What
the
can we
time
do?
Yeah.
like
That just
build
brings
it up.
more holes in the community.
Well, there,
Don't rush
Travis.
into anything.
There you have your answer. I think it's really straightforward for that one. And then another question coming in from Ghouls saying, with the recent interest of Metal State to start a Fortnite South African League, do you think it's possible for us to bring in outside MGOs to support and grow the scene even more? Now, it is a big question, obviously, with the outside MGOs are massive, and like I don't think with Metal State, it's when they look at us, it's this small. It's literally the smallest speck that you can see. And even with Metal State in, I don't think it's going to change too much from outside MGOs coming in. But inside our own community, yes, it will for sure be a big thing for
100%
us.
agree.
And Zozu, even with BVD, you guys will say, damn, here's something more. Maybe we can get that extra player in to help us even more. And the same for us, for Energy Esports, is if something like that happens, listen, we're going to be looking at more players. It's as easy as that. For sure. And obviously, the Syco, then, are you guys are FAs, same with Omeezy, is if something like that happens, you guys must be ecstatic as well, because you know teams will now be even more interested to getting in.
In my opinion, Middle State it's like another major, even though they think that we are small, it's a big major thing for us. So like Bravado tournaments are major, ATK tournaments are major, like all those things. So this is another big opportunity for all the free agents out there.
Yeah, no, definitely
I
agree with you there. And then question number 4, and this will be the last one before we go to my favorite place, and that is the Storm Surge. We'll talk about that just now. And this one is actually from a Doggo saying, please ask Riots why you choose so loud in Discord servers. And I actually had to put that one in. I want to ask you: is there?
ATK donkey.
Please tell us, Raj. Why do you do it?
Is what is it? Is it your jaw? Is it like? Is it just
I
the?
don't know.
Is it just the chips?
I honestly don't know. I just chew like a normal person and then I get
No,
chewed. So
you
But
ate the
on
pizza
your
like in
own.
2 minutes at my house.
what's wrong with that?
No, like all I heard is.
Okay.
It's like I have to put my food in a blender and drink it.
No. All you have to do is mute the mic.
I'm not allowed to chew.
You can just
I honestly don't know. I just feel like a normal person, and then I think it originated in Hachi streams because that's where it happened the most. Like I'd get chinned for eating like a salty crack or something. Stop chewing so loud.
So you're the reason Hachi doesn't stream competitive games anymore, because it's just there.
Oh
Stop
my.
chewing,
Yeah.
stop chewing, stop chewing.
Oh no, I leaked it.
All right.
Yeah.
Then I said to my favorite part of this podcast actually is we're gonna get quite into the DMs. I would put it. I call it the Storm
Yikes.
Surge, and obviously if you play Fortnite, you know exactly what the Storm Surge does. And this time around, I listened to the community, and a lot of you guys don't only want one player to be answering these questions. So we're gonna have all 4 people in this podcast answering these questions as quick as possible, be as honest as you can, and hopefully we come out the other side without 20,000 DMs saying, what the hell, why me and why this? But the first question is, and as I mentioned, as quick as possible, we'll get through this quickly, and it's going to go as before: Tristan, Omeezy, Luke, and then James. And the first question is, most underrated player in SA? Shoot.
Keaton. Definitely Keaton.
Omeezy?
Scully.
Who?
Skullboy. Scully. Name of
Scully. All right, Luke.
I'll probably go Scully and Keaton as well.
Okay. Yes, too. All right. Right.
Neymar.
Neymar. All right.
Great.
Ian Neymar.
All right.
Shut up, son.
Listen to this guy, dude. Why are you dropping the intel, man? Come on. Come on. All right. And then your favorite Fortnite season.
Ooh.
Zozo?
Probably season 3. Is it? Yeah, season 3.
Season 3. Omeezy?
Same season 3 as well.
That was
Luke?
OG, dude.
Mine when the siphon came, so I'll probably say when did siphon come? 4, 5, somewhere there.
Season 3 all the way.
Season 3. So what made
Not right now.
that dragon, dude, just
No.
man, dude, all right.
Sorry, it was my pet pterodactyl. Sorry.
What made season 3 so important or that important for you guys that it's your favorite?
For me, it was just the amount of fun I had playing with my friends. Like I'm playing with like 2 of my friends, messing around. Like
Oh,
it's
so
just
it
a fun
wasn't
time.
so it wasn't specifically something in the game.
No,
Yeah,
it's just
it's
probably
just
the most fun
feeling
they ever had.
of playing the
Yeah.
game. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Alright.
a lot of-
All right. Then following question: loudest person in Discord chats. Let's leave Rights chewing out of this.
Travis.
But just the loudest. Travis.
Travis.
King.
Travis, bro.
King.
Not King.
Not
No,
King.
King's gotten better, please.
Yeah, he's gotten better. Okay, Syco.
Travis is like a police siren.
For me, who I
Maybe
play with,
Travis.
I'm gonna say Mika.
Mika. All right.
Mika
Right.
White.
Not King. Not King.
Not King.
Oh.
not King. Not King. That's good
I
now.
hope he's watching.
Yeah,
He
he is
knows.
100%. He better be watching. But okay, following question. Who do you guys think is the best player in this episode? So between this you four, who do you guys think is the best player? Tristan?
Omeezy.
Right.
I mean, Syco?
Dallas.
Hey! This guy
Wait,
just won.
Are we
This,
talking on aim or
no,
gold?
this
If
guy.
we're going off
This,
aim, then I'll go with Dallas.
yeah, L2, bro. Yeah, come to
If
me.
golding's involved, then I can't go
No,
with
no,
Dallas.
no.
You know what I'm
All
saying?
right, but
Amazing.
overall, Syco. Come on, you can't say me. Out of these people.
Like, come on, bro.
Probably go with Zozu.
Oh, yeah, okay, right.
Omeezy.
Hey, Omeezy taking the cake there. All right, moving along. In your opinion, who has the biggest ego in Fortnite ZA? Zozu go.
Kareem.
Omeezy.
Don's players.
Don's plays. Syco.
Jesus.
TTV, not Woods. Peepsy.
Peepsy. All right. Riots. Come on.
If you say me, I'm gonna kill you. I'll fight you.
Come on,
I'll
Riots.
fight you, James.
Quick fire.
I love you, Kareem.
Come on. How long can this
We have
stay?
to make him dance. We have to
Gotta
make
be.
him dance.
No. Shut up. It's gotta be Kareem.
Oh, it gotta be Kareem. Yo, Kareem gets two there. Woo. All right.
It's gonna be so bad. Oh my god.
Crypto
I'm gonna
riots.
just
They
turn
just
channels
said it.
right now, dude.
They just said in the chat, crypto riots.
Crypto riots. I remember crypto riots.
I mean,
All
I
right.
could have said myself, to be honest.
Do you think you have an
I'll
ego?
admit it. Could say myself.
Do you think you have an ego?
Yo, GG's only, boys. GG's only.
All right, let's go. Next one is if you could send one player overseas, who would it be?
Neymar.
It's hard, bro.
All right, Syco
Just
says
because
Neymar.
Pony. Pony.
Because
Pony,
Heights won the
Neymar.
World Cup.
Chidawi.
Jadawi. Omeezy said Jadawi.
That's not fair, dude. Chidawi, that's a fucking good one. Okay, Chidawi or Pony.
It's a good one. It's not fair.
Or
Riots.
Odu.
Riots.
Is he sleeping?
Hello. Oh, hello.
Neymar.
Neymar. Sheesh. Neymar is getting some happy juice here. All right. Next one. Your favorite SA streamer and international streamer.
Oh, that's a hard one, bro.
I got it.
International
Thanks.
Ninja.
No, no. I can't watch Ninja no more. I'm sorry.
Okay, my favorite local streamer is probably it's got to be Zuck, Mr. Suspect.
Oh, Mr. Suspect.
I always have fun in that guy's stream. Like you'll never not laugh when you're sitting in Zuck's stream.
Yeah.
Honestly.
All right, Omeezy.
SA Vinks. I really enjoy
Vinks.
in
Yeah.
Vinks. And then International 72 hours.
Oh yes.
All right, Syco.
I'm gonna get tuned for this favorite spare pizza.
Oh
Ah!
my goodness.
Well, Syco, good answer. All right, Nick. And
And then
international.
International, I'll probably go with Swear Nick Merckx.
All right, right.
Swear, Nick.
Hachi is my favorite SA streamer.
But don't you watch
Uh,
him when you play?
especially his singing streams.
Oh Jesus!
Oh,
Not
no.
singing streams.
And they just because of the chat is so
Funny.
hilarious. But
Yeah.
and then international, I'd probably say Tifu.
Tifu. I'm actually.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give mine, yeah, and I think mine is, what's it? The actual fresh. Yeah.
Fresh
Yeah.
is funny.
He is
Yeah.
insane. All right. Internationally, the one I watch the most, like content creation, must probably be Courage. He's just so funny, and when he plays with the younger guys, like what's that one kid he plays with the whole time? No, I can't get on his name, but like his content is just hilarious. I love it.
Connor.
Connor, yeah, there we go. Connor, it's just hilarious. I love watching. Then the following one is your dream org to represent internationally. An international org.
Liquid or 100 Thieves.
Omeezy.
Mine's the exact same answers.
Stop reading my mind,
Exact same.
Yeah.
Liquid or 100 Thieves, dude.
Psycho.
Ghost and 80%.
Ghost. All right. Right.
NRG.
NRG.
Ooh.
I would definitely go for 100 Thieves, man. Come on. I don't think you can go wrong there.
Nah.
Like, yeah.
I agree.
Is there something you don't like from 100 Thieves, right?
Nah, just like NRG's EU players, you know.
All right, I get you. All right, last question that tops off our 10 questions for these gents, and that is when I say the word toxic, who's the first person to come to mind?
Kareem.
Oh.
Woo! Kareem
Ooh, this is
again.
I love you, Kareem.
All right,
This is for you,
Jesus.
brother.
Omeezy?
I do with all the
No.
love in my heart. You know I do. You know I do.
Omeezy?
Riots.
Riots. Yo. All right, Psycho.
I'm gonna go with Hachi because the way I remember that Rage Discord, who was it, Kareem and who got in?
I don't know.
I don't know, but they
Kareem
got
and
into the
Bean.
Yeah, Kareem and Bean got into the tournament and Hachi was on top of them. So
All right. Riots.
Trash Panda.
Trash Panda. Yo.
Loki. With all the love in our hearts, though, we all
Yeah.
mean it with love.
Mhm.
Yeah, obviously we do. It's just a
And
little
Kareem,
bit.
we are friends, just by the way.
I
You
mean,
have a
if I
choice.
if I could say myself, I would, but
Hey, you can I say you then?
go for
Yo.
All
it.
right. I'm joking. I'm definitely joking. If you could, I don't even want to answer that. I don't want to put it on myself. But I think we're gonna conclude it there, ladies and gentlemen. It's been an hour and a half now. I appreciate every single person, and like Pony, if you're still here, you know I love you to the moon and back for everything you do for my streams. I appreciate you so much.
Big love to Kane,
And then to
big
everyone
love.
that is in here, and sometimes you have to take time out of your day maybe to support someone else or support me is what I mean. Is thank you very much. Appreciate you all. And Omeezy, Zozu, Syco, and Riots, thank you for basically putting time aside to come onto the Fortcast and just get some content out. I appreciate you all.
Hey, thank you for having
Thank
me.
you
Code
for
Psycho
Thank you
FN
for
and the
having
item
us.
shop.
Shut
I've
up.
enjoyed it.
All right.
Code
guy-
Metal State in the item shop. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
And
there we
everyone
go.
in chat, I see you.
Everyone code Metal State in that item shop. You know we want those tournaments, so we need to support as much as we
I see
can.
you, Sinks. I see you, dog.
Let's quickly read through the chat just before we end off. Any questions? Quick questions from the chat. Let's just have a look what everyone says. Hachi says I'm toxic ? I reported them to get then got called snitch. Yo Hutch.
Ooh.
Hutch, you
What's
snitch.
going on?
You snitch.
Wait, what? Was that a question?
What is
Wait,
going
what?
on?
Was that a
I'm just
question?
I'm just
Was
reading
that a
through.
question?
I'm just reading through here.
Alex, I see you.
Why is Riot so sexy? I really don't know. I really don't know. I wish I knew because I need it. Anything else? No, I think we're going to call it there. But yet again, thank you very much to every single person. you know we are back in a fortnight, and I think that's very cliche. That's in 2 weeks' time. We'll see you guys again. Keep your eye on the social media, that being on my Twitter, as you can see just down below there, at DallasZA, or you can see the next guests for our Fortcast episode number 3. But for now, thank you very much, Zozu, Omeezy, Syco, and Riots. That is it, and I'll check you guys next time. Peace. Cheers.
Peace.
Just
Peace.
just